recording. So now when I started recording, Pragna, you very welcome to our group. Please take the controls.
Hi everyone. Good evening, and I hope you all are well. My name is Pragna Nidumolu, and I am both honored and genuinely inspired to stand before you today at the inaugural event of Agile Demics, an incredible Agile Alliance initiative. As the founder of EcoTeens, a TEDx performer and speaker, the youngest speaker at Agile Alliance 2023, and a passionate member of the next gen cohort of Lean and Agile, I've been fortunate to connect with incredible individuals from diverse backgrounds and industries, all bound together by the power of Agile principles. I'm also a junior at Freedom High School in Virginia, where I serve as the president of the TEDx Club and an officer of the debate club. Agile Demics holds immense significance for young Agilists like me. It provides a platform to collaborate, learn from one another, and apply Agile principles to our academics, extracurricular activities, research, and so much more. It's not just about personal development, it's also about contributing to the greater Agile community. Today, I'd like to talk about a topic that is close to my heart: Agile transforms education. Agile principles, with their core focus on adaptability, collaboration, and continuous improvement, are typically associated with software development. However, I'm here to show you that these principles can transform the way that we approach education, making it more efficient, dynamic, and ultimately more empowering for young minds like mine. I'm confident that Agile Demics will be a valuable resource for young Agilists to learn the ropes of organizing and measuring success while instilling the spirit of continuous improvement, a fundamental anchor of agility. Together, let's explore how Agile can equip us with the skills and mindset to navigate our educational journey and more effectively, in turn, enhance our contributions to the Agile world. Agile isn't just for big companies. It's a mindset that has been incredibly helpful for me as a student. It's like having a reliable guide for my educational journey. I see my school path as an adventure, where each semester feels like the start of a new chapter in a book. Before each term begins, I set a clear goal for what I want to learn, much like planning a project. I kick off my journey with a clear vision, but I'm also open to change and growth along the way. Agile helps me feel in control of my learning, just as it helps teams in the workplace. I've adopted something called iterative planning, which means breaking my school year into smaller, more manageable parts, just like chapters in a book. I set specific goals for each term, but I remain flexible. If unexpected challenges or opportunities arise, I can adjust my plan and keep moving forward. This adaptability isn't just limited to the classroom, it also extends to research and my interactions with teachers and mentors. Collaborating with them, sharing ideas, and learning from their guidance is like having a trusted friend alongside me on this educational journey. Agile principles have been my secret to success in many aspects in my life, especially in school. There are three big ideas in Agile that have made a real difference for me. First, there's adaptability. It's all about being able to handle changes and learn when things don't go as planned. For instance, when I faced a sudden change in my school schedule, Agile helped me stay calm and adjust to the new situation while still keeping my focus on my goals. Then there's collaboration, which means working together as a team. Just like in Agile, where teamwork is important, in school, I've had times where I worked with my classmates on group projects. Sharing our ideas and helping each other out made our projects much, much better, and we all learned more together. The third big idea is continuous improvement, which is about always trying to get better. In school, this means looking at what I have learned and figuring out how to improve. For instance, when I got feedback from my teacher on a history project, I used it to make my next project even better. In a nutshell, Agile has been like a superpower for my education. It's made me ready for changes and helped me learn from my classmates, and it has encouraged me to keep it getting better. Think of iterative planning as a key that has made a big difference for me in school. It's like having a map to make my school journey more enjoyable. In Agile, they talk about breaking big things into smaller parts, like cutting big cakes into smaller slices. I've applied this idea to my school year by splitting it into smaller pieces, like semesters, as I mentioned before. For each part, I set clear goals. For instance, one time I had a whole year's worth of science to learn and it felt so overwhelming. But with agile planning, I divided it into smaller chunks and I set goals for each chapter, which made it much, much easier to stay focused and learn step by step. I learned that school isn't just a one-time destination. It's an adventure full of things to explore. When I think about research, it's a bit like going on a treasure hunt. Sometimes I don't know exactly where I'm going, but that's okay because that's where the most exciting discoveries happen when you're exploring the unknown. That's where Agile came into my research journey. It's like having a super flexible map that I can use to navigate through the twists and turns of my research. For example, once I was working on one of my science projects in school, and my initial experiments didn't give me the results that I expected. Agile allowed me to change my plan and explore newer ideas, which led me to different and fascinating discoveries. Agile, as I mentioned previously, also encourages teamwork, just like when my friends and I collaborate on solving puzzles during a treasure hunt. In research, working with mentors, advisors, or fellow students has often led to better insights and improved research outcomes. Effective communication is like a bridge that connects people and helps us share knowledge. In the Agile world, they emphasize the importance of individuals and interactions. This simply means that people talking and working together are a big deal. In my school life, this principle became very, very clear to me. When students, teachers, and mentors communicate well, it's like constructing a sturdy bridge for learning. And a real life example of this is during one of my group projects, we had to present our ideas to the class. By talking and discussing our thoughts, asking questions, and sharing ideas very openly, we made the presentation much better and much more engaging. It was like building a strong bridge between us and our audience, helping everyone understand and learn a lot more effectively. Agile principles allow us to and encourage us to be more open and talk to each other. And I've seen firsthand how important this is in education. It's not just about studying alone, it's about working together, learning from each other, and helping each other grow. Just recently, when I had a question about a complex math problem, discussing it with my teacher made it much clearer. And it's this kind of collaboration that helps us succeed. Now let's talk about something really, really cool in education, Kanban boards. They might sound all fancy, but trust me, they're simple and seriously helpful. Think of a Kanban board as your regular to-do lists. It's like a magical, cool tool that helps you organize your tasks, assignments, and projects in a visual way. When you peek at the board, it's like having a quick snapshot of what you need to do, what's happening right now, and what you've already done. This visual organization is like having a GPS for your journey through schoolwork. You can see the path ahead, spot upcoming things that you have to do, and know where you're headed in the future. And the best part is, it keeps you on a steady path. You know when things are due, so you can take a chunk of them bit by bit without turning into a stress ball. It's like having a personal task manager that helps you keep your cool. Agile has been a game changer in my education journey. It's not just for businesses, it's a powerful tool for students like me. Like I mentioned before, the first key principle of Agile is adaptability. The second is collaboration, all about teamwork, and the third is continuous improvement. Agile is my secret weapon in the ever evolving world of education. It's my guide to success, teaching me to be adaptable, work as a team, and keep pushing for improvement. It's like having a guide on my educational adventure, making every challenge an opportunity for growth. For me, Agile is a mindset of adaptability. Just like in the world of software development, where Agile serves as a guiding light, it can also be a beacon of inspiration for students navigating their educational journey. I see my academic path as an exciting journey. Each semester or term, it's like starting a new chapter. I set clear goals for what I want to learn, and I begin my journey with a clear vision. Agile empowers me to take ownership of my learning, just as it encourages teams to take ownership of their work in the business world. I embrace iterative planning, breaking my academic year into manageable sprints or phases. I set goals for each part, making it feel like a series of exciting adventures. Iterative planning is the key. It encourages me to adapt and refine my goals as I progress, ensuring that my journey remains dynamic and responsive to changing circumstances. As I wrap up this journey through Agile principles in education, let's hold on to a very powerful message. Education is a journey, Agile is the map. Like I mentioned, I see Agile as a map, and it's like exploring uncharted territory. Just like adventurers rely on maps to navigate through the wilderness, students can rely on Agile principles to navigate through the world of learning. Agile is like the GPS, guiding us, helping us plan, adapt, and find our way with ease. For instance, when I started a research project and encountered many unexpected obstacles, Agile principles served as my map. They helped me adjust my course, collaborate with mentors, and make continuous improvements. It's a reminder that education isn't just about reaching a predetermined destination. It's about fully embracing the exciting journey of learning. With Agile as our map, we can set clear goals, work together with classmates and mentors, and strive for improvement at every step. So, as you continue your educational journey or just your journey through life, remember that Agile is your trusted map. It's your reliable companion in the whole realm of knowledge, always ready to help you make the most of your journey. With Agile as your map, you can explore and achieve beyond your wildest dreams in the world of education. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you for sharing your experience with us. Uh, if you don't mind, let's open it up for questions.
Yeah, of course.
So let me take advantage of my facilitator role and ask the first question. So how we see that you are already inspired agilist, but tell us a little bit more about your transition. What inspired you? Who helped you to uncover agility for yourself?
Well, my mom has actually been in the Agile space for almost 10 years now, and I've seen her use Agile in her workspace, and I've seen her attend these Agile conferences, and it really inspired me to use those principles in my work because at like growing up and going through high school, each year just got harder, and each semester just got harder with more and more work piling on. And seeing her use these agile principles in her personal space and her professional space, I adapted and I incorporated that into my own personal space and my education. And I saw the value in agile as a whole.
Thank you. That's remarkable.
It's a great story.
Thank you.
Pragna,
Any-
can you tell us about one of your like aha moments when Agile sort of helped you save the day in school?
Um, okay, there was this one time where my teacher gave us this huge project and it spanned over like 2 months. But I had so many other assignments that this got pushed to the back of my head and I had a week to do it. And it was a really big project. It required that 2 months, but I just had way too much on my mind and too many things to do. And um, I remember talking to my mom about it, and that was like, this was more to the end of middle school. So I was still growing and learning about like how to adapt different principles into my school life. And she taught me about Agile and how it can help you. And I was like, this is something for adults. Like, how is this going to help me? But then she put a Kanban board in my room actually. Like we taped up a board in my room. We split it up into 4 sections and I put all my tasks on sticky notes and I put it up there and I finished the project in a week. And I passed and I got 100 on it. And that
Well,
really, really helped me like use this more in my life.
that's a great story, Pragner. Was that because your mom helped, or was that because you now add clarity on what needs to be done and in what order?
The Kanban board is what helped me. I mean, my mom did help on the side, but that's not what truly got me through it. The fact that I could break it up into chunks and put a deadline for each thing and have that to-do list and that Kanban board, it really gave me clarity on what I needed to finish when, and then that's what really helped me finish the project in time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
More questions to our speaker, please.
If we don't have anything yet, we do have the wonderful Agiledemics team here too. Who would love to tell you some more about Agiledemics. So
Yep.
we have Kemi, Itopa,
Yes, that's
and
me.
Goodwin.
And
Do you guys want
Amelia has got this bunch of questions that I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, here comes Amelia with her questions, and I have to answer them. Well, I don't have to answer all. Itopa is here.
there's 4 of you who can answer them. So it's not all you, Kemi. But to start, Kemi, Itopa, Goodwin, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Let me just say that Godwin is missing today.
Yeah.
He's not feeling very well, so we're missing him here.
So Itopa and Kemi, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I can
Men
start,
first.
Kemi,
Yeah,
if you...
man first.
Okay. My name is Itopa Sule. I am an Agile practitioner based here in the Greater Toronto area, Ontario, Canada. I've been calling this place home for the last 13 years. Before then, I was a software engineer, transitioned to delivery management, to project management, Scrum Master, and now I help organizations figure out how to be more agile and how to be more effective. So I advise executives that way. One of my passion is education in all ramification. I help to spread education in remote areas where otherwise it's not possible. That's one of the things I do because I see that as myself 40 years ago when I was growing up in those kind of remote areas. Another passion of mine is how do we also help young Agilists bring new people into this cycle. And just chatting with Kemi at one of those conferences, we thought that we could find ways to spread this within schools for students as well as educators. And we got a listening ear from Agile Alliance, and we started this journey. We're still early on the journey, but we have a very big, huge vision of helping students, supporting educators, and actually making sure that people who come into the workforce are already catalysts to help change the way we work. So that's what we hope we can achieve. And I'm very happy to be part of this evening. And my breath was taken away listening to Pragna, how she has totally embraced this in what she's doing. And the future cannot be brighter with youngsters like Pragna.
All right. And my name is
Thank you.
Kemi Raji. I am based in Toronto. Oh, wow. Let me be more clear. But for those who do not know Canada very well, I'm based in Toronto. If you're based in Canada, then I'm based in Brampton. Anyway, I always say I'm still a Scrum Master, even though I now coach executives to know, but I'm still a Scrum Master because there are no hierarchy in Scrum. And so I've been doing this for some time now. And like Itopa said, we begin to think that where are all the young Agilists? Where are all the young people? I met with Jim Hinesmith in Orlando, and he was like, "Oh, you are the young people coming." I said, "No, the young people are not here. I'm way too old to be the young people." But then, in relative to Jim, I am young. And I was saying to Itopa and the rest, I said, it would be nice to have young people come speak. And then Pragna turns up and was a speaker. I was blown away. The whole goal of Agile Demics is that we can have the young Agilists join the movement, because Agile Alliance as it is a movement. But then when you now look at Agile itself, it is not just about Agile Alliance, because that's where we founded Agile Demics, but it is a mindset, like Pragna said. How can the students use it? And honestly, with what Pragna said about homework and all, I find myself doing it as well, because I went back to college to do digital marketing, and I am the one that organizes my group and would call for meeting and everything. And everybody's amazed that I find time to do it. I said, no, I don't have the time. I've just managed to order my work. So I know what is coming up next. I know the deadlines and everything. So I've done it on a chat or on a task list that I go through. So I know what to move on to next. And I think this is something that is very important in schools as well, for everybody to incorporate. Anyway, I know I was supposed to introduce myself, but you know.
So tell us a little bit about how Agile Demics is organized with the hubs and how you envision it revolutionizing learning and agility.
That's a loaded question, Amelia. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do this without the help. We have the help of people like Amelia Dio, and some other folks that are not here that have joined us. But what we've done is to create a container, basically. So this is the vision. We want young people and their educators to be part of the movement. However, we're not going to tell them what to do, because you know what happens when you tell people what to do. they would do some other stuff. All right. And they stop listening to you at some point. So how about we just say, hey, this is what we want to do. We want to have hubs at schools, colleges, universities, and then you tell us how that will work, right? And then we would help you to make it happen. And then we have the emerging voices. So you start doing whatever you want to do at your institution, but then we then help you out into the larger group through emerging voices. So that way you can share what you've been learning, or you can share your experience, and also helping you to connect the dots. So you're not in isolation. You're not working in silo. Because, Agile is about teams, right? So we're connecting those universities, those colleges, locally, internationally, and globally, right? But we have just created a container. We need the students, educators, schools to then tap into it and take it away.
Yeah, just to add that there's a role for everyone to support this movement. And we're always looking for people who can stand up in their community and extend this vision, because that's the way we spread. That's the way we're able to scale this.
So, if the Agiledemic hubs were a superhero, what would their powers be?
Wow. Can you think of anything so far? Superman comes to mind, but then the Superman tends to rescue people, right? So I'm looking at Spider-Man, where you are connecting the dots. But then Etopa might have some other ideas.
No, I just think that Agile is the wing that actually allows them to fly and connect with everyone. In isolation, it's just a hub. But when you connect the dots, and what helps them to connect the dots is the wing. That's what's coming to me, Amelia. I'm not sure if this is an answer you're looking for.
Perfect.
Folks, you are doing such a great thing for the community and for the younger generation. And I believe a lot of people on this call, they're also parents, and some of them might have kids of the same age, or maybe nieces or nephews. So on behalf of these people, how we could put our kids on the same path, how we could help our kids to be involved?
Honestly, I remember when my kids were at home, and they started similar to what Padmini was doing with Pragna, whereby we would have a task board. But for me, it was around house chores, because I used to scream, "Have you done your cleaning?" "Yes." "Did you clean your room?" "No, you didn't." And we had to establish what definition of done was. So it started with that. And I would want to encourage parents to help their kids by starting with things that interest them, right? Just creating a task board and having one meeting or whatever that might be. And you will be surprised that they then transfer that to their learning, because you've done it in such a fun way. And to get involved with Agiledemics, you only need to send them through us email. If they're passionate about speaking, Dio and Emilia would handle that, because we find out that we have two funnels. One is that they're coming in through speaking, or they're coming in through their college. We know that it can sometimes be hard to get a college or university to sign up. So we are more than happy to start working with individuals that are ready. Someone like, people like Pragna, she's here on her own, but not for long. We're hoping that colleges would be able to join in and tap into it. And that's that with parents, right? Show your kids what they're missing. Oh, sorry, children what they're missing.
And my second question would be, again, I'm trying to put these questions on behalf of the people in this room. If there is anything we can do to support this community, how can we help?
Yeah, so the two channels that we have right now, one is the Emerging Voices, and that one you can register for that and then go through what's required. The other path is I'm imagining that some of you may want to extend this to schools in your community. So you could become an ambassador for Agile Dynamics, and we take you through what that involves and what time requirement is there. The idea really is, as an ambassador, spread the same thing to the schools, help the school navigates the process that is required to set that up. As Kemi was saying, what actually happens in the hub and what exactly they want to use that to drive will be driven totally by the school. We are here to support, to provide that space, that container that supports that initiative within the school. So that is how you as parents can also participate as well.
Thank you. And I see a lot of links were published to the chat.
Yep.
I'll try to put them into the messages connected to this event on Meetup so that it will be available for everybody who joined us. And
We have more questions too. So a question from Jeff. I've trained hundreds of new software engineers in agile ways of working, but not one of them has had any real understanding of what agile is. So what are you doing to get into universities? And what are you recommending they do to effectively bring agile ways of working to the students?
You are absolutely right, Jeff. I have had the opportunity to have interns or co-op students coming to a lot of these organizations I have worked. And the first thing that we have to do is to train them in the agile ways of work, because they don't even know. They don't even know what CI/CD means, right? Or unit testing. So a lot of them have just done a lot of theories, and then they're coming in not ready for the workforce, and we haven't to train them, which is great. That's why they're there. How about we started helping them to learn even before they leave the school, right? They kind of so right now it is so hard. You can't even change the curriculum, and it's so hard to even get into universities to help them look at establishing these ways of working with their students. And as you know, educators are not well paid. And they have a huge workload. So it can be really hard for them to take on more work. So it's a little bit challenging to get people to take up that role within the education sector. And that's why we're tapping into the Agile community. And I know some people already go into the schools, colleges, and universities, but they go in and leave. We want them to establish something within the institution itself, so that the kids, I keep saying kids, I'm sorry, the children can run it, right? So it will look like a extracurricular or those clubs that they have within the university, and it won't be just software engineering student, but it will be anything, marketing, digital, whatever it is that are coming through the doors and learning what Agile is. So if you know anybody that is interested and can go into those institutions and can help, great. If you know anybody that knows anybody, fantastic. Let us know. We need to do more for the students that are coming through, right? It will get to a point where Agile is given, right? You have to know what Agile is. You have to know how to implement it. It will just turn into another Microsoft suite, right? In the past, it was always like, I know Word documents, I know Excel. now you don't even put that on your resume anymore. And that's what Agile will become. So how do we get students, educators to be more? So Jeff, we welcome ideas, right?
Tough one. You've covered all of the tough issues already by saying they're not well paid and it's hard to change curriculum.
Yeah,
what
but then we
happens,
shouldn't
Timmy?
get discouraged by that, right?
Yeah, if we
We
take
are
the long
change
view, right?
makers.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we are change makers. Because if you have a hammer, you could drive a nail. But if you are infected with Agile bug, and if it could infect somebody else, altogether we could make a dent in the universe, right?
Great analogy, Sasha. That's why we're thinking about hubs that is entirely driven by the participants, applying it, learning what they need to actually apply to what they do. And hopefully by the time they come out of the school system, they have an idea of what this is. And they should be able to also help the organizations, if any organization at that point is still not thinking this way. That's the big vision here. Changing curriculum may not be where to start, but helping to get people excited about it by doing it, by applying it to what they do, and learning about it together in hubs, in clubs. That's where we're starting from.
I think you're right. I could see that working.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely, Daniel. We don't need to start at universities. We can borrow from a Kanban model, and people who does Kanban will say I'm not pronouncing it properly. Kanban. Kanban. Yes, we can borrow from Kanban, which says start where you are, right? So we start with what we have, right?
Well, that is a Japanese word, so it's okay to stress not on the first syllable.
And I don't speak Japanese, Sasha, so I'm excused. Yeah.
All like you. Okay, folks, I think I could stop recording.
I have one last question.
Oh.
My last question was, fast forwarding 10 years, what big dreams has Agiledemics achieved, and how has it shaped the future of Agile and of education? I'd love to hear from all three of you. So you too, Pragna.
For me, it starts with the vision, right? It's that hubs, as we call them, are just part of what you get to a school. Is one of those clubs that you join. And Agile way of working is one of the things that you come out of school with. You don't need to learn it separately. For me, that's the word I envision, like just this way of working. And when I say this, I read about when bureaucracy actually came to be. It was a new thing. People moved from feudal system to the industrial age, organized way of working. I don't think anyone goes to school to learn bureaucracy today. In fact, we are running away from it. So my hope is that even less than 10 years from now, we should be in a position where this is just part of what we learn, part of how we work, and we don't need special thing to get there.
Yeah, I hope I will at that time be retired and being somewhere in Malta or, Bahamas, those kinds of places. And the likes of Pragna are running this. And students and educators are practicing, utilizing Agile ways of working in classroom. And most importantly, it's part of the curriculum, how the curriculum is, delivered. And I do hope at that time, I wouldn't have to be spelling Agile to a lot of people. Because when you say, what do you do? I'm an Agile coach. What? Agile coach? What? What does that mean? Right? So yes, I'm hoping we'll get to that point where everybody and anybody uses it.
I like the comment in the chat about because if everybody knows everything about agility,
Yeah,
all are going to be unemployed.
yeah, we're gonna have to use the new secret word now that people are
Well,
leaving the companies with.
Thank you, Daniel. I'll be careful. But yeah, not in this group though.
We would have some other word to use. Trust me.
we'll be adaptable.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
We'll pivot with graceful ease. Pragna, 10 years from now, what would you like to see with agility?
I definitely want to keep implementing this in my life, but seeing how much it helped me, I know it can help so many other people, and I want to share this idea. And I know Agile is already a big thing, but with Agiledemics, I really, really want to help spread this to schools and younger people and high schoolers especially.
Yes, absolutely. Catch them young, we say.
Yes.
I have a question for Pragna to wrap up. So, what advice would you give students, young adults out there thinking about Agile, or people, young adults or students that haven't made up their mind about Agile? What advice would you give them?
I think the most important thing is to be adaptable and be open-minded and willing to change your ways and be open to feedback. So that means having a growth mindset, because if you're fixed in your ways, then there's no way you're going to improve. So that's the number one thing. And there's always a adjusting period, a learning period when it comes to changing the way you do things in your life. And adapting and collaborating with other people are probably the most important things in adopting Agile into your life.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yes.
I was observing Pragna, and that gave me really a warm and fuzzy feeling to see that new generation of Agilists is coming, so that when we all are going to be retired, there will be somebody who is going to pick up the stick and carry it over, changing people's lives.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, with this said, I am